Man, I love food. I tend to like the nasty food that's not cute to eat. Like, you know how like you'll go on a date and it's not like, if you're trying to be cute, you have a salad, you have the pasta that you can pick up with a fork, not spaghetti, pasta. And yeah, no, I like those foods are good. I like those kind of foods. But my favorite kind of foods are the messy foods. Nachos, wings, brownies, all of that. I love all that stuff. Food that you cannot look cute eating, that's what I like. A lot of times we struggle to have our favorite foods whenever we're trying to lose weight because we feel like, oh, we have to do it this way, we have to do it that way. And honestly, like the real root of it all is the fact that we have this like part of it is insecurity, part of it is having unrealistic expectations, not just of our goals, but of ourselves. And so it's like, ma'am, if you've been eating these kind of foods this kind of way for up to an amount of years, how do you expect to be able to kill that in a month because you decided today that you wanted to look good, that you wanted to be healthy? It don't work like that. It's not going to. So why put that kind of like pressure on yourself, right? Like definitely hold yourself accountable, but there's a difference between holding yourself accountable and being realistic with yourself into like what you are actually capable of achieving and what you will achieve. And I struggle to say this sometimes because a lot of women use this as an excuse to not be successful. And you'll be like, no, it's just hard. Like, you don't understand. I have a family, I have kids. At the end of the day, if you wanted to, you would for your family. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about our favorite food. So what's your favorite food? Go ahead, put it in the comments below. And while you are commenting below, go ahead and like and subscribe. Grow the Curvy Queen community. And let's get fun, okay? You can definitely do that. And then if you're listening on audio, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, and all that great stuff, definitely leave a review. It pushes it out. It lets the world know that we are great, that we are nice, and it's fun to be here. And yeah, so go ahead and put that down there. Leave a good review. If you don't like it here, cool. Do what you do elsewhere. Learning to eat my favorite foods while trying to lose weight was honestly one of the hardest parts of losing weight. And it wasn't even necessarily the food, but it was me. Right? It was me de-villainizing, that's a big word, de-villainizing the food that I actually enjoyed because I was so fixed on not looking how I looked that I was like, this food is bad for me. It's not like, it's like gonna make me fat because I'm already fat. Like, it's not gonna work. And that's probably the reason why you're struggling. That's probably the reason why you end up like having a cheat day that turns into a cheat week, that turns into like just not being on your nutrition plan. That's probably the reason why like we have really, really hard times being good on our nutrition. A lot of times, like, a lot of my clients, like, I'll tell them like, here's your plan. Calculate your like I calculate them actually, but I'd be like, track your food, track your macros, all that stuff. And they're like, well, it gives me anxiety, like it freaks me out, like, kind of thing, because I want to eat this, but I don't want to log in and have you see it and come for me and da-da-da-da-da-da. Cool, I get that, but let's be real. The point of tracking your food is not to put shame on you. The point of being aware of what you eat is a form of self-love and improvement. You can't fix an issue you didn't know was there or you don't want to acknowledge is there. What if I told you I could give you the secrets to being fit and fine forever? Well, girl, I got you. Curvy Queen Headquarters is the healthiest and the most empowering community in Black girl fitness, period. And you'll get access to exclusive videos, priority access to events, and so much more. So all you have to do is watch, apply, and get fine. Sounds good, right? Then visit patreon.com/CQHQ or click the link in the description below. Either way, don't miss out on an opportunity to change your life. And so until I acknowledged that the food I was eating in and of itself isn't necessarily bad, it made it hard for me to eat healthy because I'm eating salads, I'm eating rice and chicken and all this good stuff, but I'm not enjoying it. And so the hormone response of being stressed is what's happening. And that is actually keeping me heavy instead of giving me the results that I want. So then I was like, okay, like, how am I going to be going to the gym? How am I going to be eating the right foods and still not be losing the weight? Like, this is freaking me out. Like, I'm trying to, you know, get results. And essentially, I found the secret sauce. Make the unhealthy versions of the food that I like to eat healthy, right? Eat the foods that you like to eat, one, in moderation, and two, in the healthy way that they can be. Nachos, you can give me nachos, okay? Burritos, brownies, wings, especially the flats, okay? Comment below which ones you think are best. I think flats are best. If you like drumsticks, I don't know if we can be friends, but we can be cool, you know? But yeah, like those are the kind of foods I like. I like the foods that you can eat ugly, you know, the foods that you don't eat on a first date. Like that's what I like to eat, right? Those are my favorite foods. Those are my comfort foods, right? And I essentially learned instead of trying to revamp, like we definitely were trying to grow into who we need to be, who God's called us to be, and like to be better. But that doesn't mean like you just totally deny yourself of everything you actually enjoy, right? Like that doesn't even make sense. And so instead of denying myself of the foods that I enjoyed, I ate what I did enjoy in moderation and I made healthier versions of it, right? If you go on my Instagram right now, you'll find a recipe for bell pepper nachos. I promise you, these bell pepper nachos, ma'am, try them. Give them a whirl. They're delicious. Okay? They're so good. And I'm not a person who likes to be in the kitchen for a long time. So it literally only took me about 45 minutes, if that, and it was absolutely delicious. So what you need to do is find your favorite foods, realize what your goals actually are, and find the healthy versions of them. Brownies. My period it just ended, but it started like a few days ago, right? I wanted the sweets, right? I wanted the bazooki. I wanted the sweetness, right? But instead of just having like a regular high sugar brownie with this big old clump of vanilla ice cream on top and the chocolate syrup, I mixed it up a little bit, right? My boyfriend did it because I don't like to be in the kitchen a long time, remember? But I asked him, I was like, hey, can we put like some protein powder in here? And he was like, yeah, sure, cool. Put some protein powder in there, chocolate protein powder, because it's a chocolate brownie. You see what I'm saying? And we mix it in there, put it in the oven, and it tasted good. It was not necessarily as sweet and sugary as I would like. But again, we don't actually need the sugar. It's already kind of sweet. So we're good. And my threshold for sugar is a lot more than what I think is healthy. So I was like, okay, this is probably good anyway. And then on top of that, the ice cream part, and hear me out. Hear me out. There's this like substitute. And plus, if you lactose intolerant, I got you, okay? Because it's called yasso. It's like a frozen yogurt ice cream, quote unquote ice cream dessert that literally tastes so good. And it tastes like ice cream, right? And yes, I mean it. It tastes like ice cream. Okay? Literally, it has 3 grams of protein, low carb, well, like low calories, period. And I got the salted caramel version. That on top of that brownie, baby. Guilt free, just me and the Grinch munching. And you can be like that too. At the end of the day, we really have to dive deep. The issue isn't whether or not you can eat your favorite foods. The issue isn't whether or not you know how to eat in moderation. It's whether or not you know and or are willing to tackle the misconceived notions that you have in your brain about your relationship with food, right? I used to binge eat. I used to eat till I was full / like till I finished the plate, right? And as much as like, that makes sense, you shouldn't. You should eat till you're satisfied, not till you're full. Because then you're just eating and eating and eating. And I just ate when I felt like it, right? When I was bored, I'm eating, right? Am I willing to acknowledge the fact that instead of, maybe doing something productive, I chose to eat something that wasn't good for me to fulfill some void and need and frustration or boredom instead of doing what I know I needed to do, right? Am I willing to acknowledge the fact that I probably suck at managing my emotions because instead of actually journaling, praying about it, talking to somebody about it, really trying to find the solution, find where you're at, find where the other person is at, and see where you're. Instead of doing all of that, let's just get a big old tub of ice cream and throw it in her face. Because that's going to make it all better. And it doesn't. It makes it better literally as you're eating it. But as soon as you're done, one, you don't actually feel that much better while you're eating it. And two, you feel twice as worse after. At least I did. Because not only do I feel bad about my situation, but now I feel bad that I ate this. Knowing that I don't like the way I look. Knowing that I do want to be better. And I just hindered my goal just a little bit more. And that's not how that's supposed to go. Right? So I lost 20 pounds eating my favorite foods because I decided to tackle the misconceived notions and the relationship I had with food and be like, you know what? Food actually isn't a bad thing. Food is exactly what my body needs to do what it needs to do. I just need to listen to my body and give it what it's asking for. Give it the protein that it's asking for. Keep away the milk that it's not asking for. Give it the carbs that it's asking for, right? Let me eat the foods that I actually enjoy so that I'm not psyching myself out thinking like I have to eat this even though I don't like it because I'm trying to. No. Let's literally just eat food, girl. It's not that deep. I promise you there's a wide array of recipes. If you're looking to get rid of stubborn body fat and be confident in who God's created you to be, I want to encourage you to sign up for my one-on-one Curvy Queen coaching program. This is where I help women not only look good on the outside, but feel good on the inside by creating a customized nutrition and workout plan, walking you through how to overcome insecurities, and providing you the tools to make this a lifestyle. 3 years ago, I walked past the mirror, got a glimpse of how chunky I got, and bursted into tears. I knew I was meant for more, and that day, I decided to become the woman God created me to be. And you should too. So whether you need accountability to keep you going or a community to remind you that you're not alone, I encourage you to pause this video, click the link in the description below, and sign up and book a call. Where there's a will, there's a way. Do you have the will? Do you want to, essentially? Right? Do you want to? I also found the healthy version of Pringles, by the way. If you want to know what that is, go ahead and comment below. I'll tell y'all what it is. Even when it is hard to choose the foods that you know you're not supposed to eat in terms of actually reaching your goal, even when it's hard to eat the food that you know is not helping you reach your goal, you have to think first of all, it's not about you, it's about the future you, right? It's about your family, it's about whatever your why, your reason is to be looking as good as you want to look, right? But also, is this my goal? Is this what I imagine? When I think about what I want to achieve, what is that? If I could achieve everything and anything I ever wanted, specifically in health or mindset, right? What does that look like? And if what you're doing now in the food that you're eating does not match that, then you probably shouldn't be eating that. But again, that does not mean you shouldn't eat the food that you like. It means you need to change the way you eat it. So again, Instead of having a super sugary brownie, let's make protein brownies and make them delicious anyway. Instead of high fat, cholesterol based nachos, let's make low fat, high protein bell pepper nachos, right? Instead of, and as much as I love chicken wings, you can still have chicken wings. Make them at home. Make them at home. If you're like me, we're not Chef Boyardee. We get an air fryer. Okay, I'm telling you, air fryers, rice cookers, and like smoothie blenders. 3 best things you can get in the kitchen. Period. If you want to eat food good, fast, and delicious, those are the best ways to do it. Okay, so what is your why? Why do you want to eat healthy? Why do you want to be better? Why do you want to feel better? Do you want to feel better? If so, why? Right? Dive deep into the reason you're doing this in the first place. Because I could give you all these strategies and you're probably not going to make it here anyway. Because you're not motivated enough. You don't want it enough. Right? Like, it's not that serious to you. And that's okay. But if that's the case, then baby, don't be upset when you don't make it. You can't have a goal to do something, do the stuff that doesn't help you achieve that goal, and then be mad you didn't achieve the goal. If you're so stressed about your food, what you're eating, and things like that, you're going to have the stress hormone, which actually helps you keep the weight. And that's not what you want, right? So stop stressing about food. How do you stop stressing about food? You stop stressing about food because you realize that, one, I need to eat in moderation, but I always feel the need to eat. If you always feel the need to eat, then that's a mental and emotional issue that you need to tackle. If you don't ever eat because you're also very busy, then that means you need to value yourself a little bit more and make more time for yourself so that you can eat. And if so, eat the food that's good for you and not just pick something off the way. And then actually prepare, right? Like meal prep, right? And I'm not just talking about being in the kitchen for 3 hours making like 4-course meals. I'm talking about find the snacks that you can just grab and go. I have been a fiend for applesauce, jerky and cheese, this healthy version of Pringles I just found. I'm a muncher. I love munching on foods, right? And stereotypically we see in the fitness industry, like they're like, oh, don't snack, don't do this, don't do that. You can snack on food that's good for you. Nothing's wrong with some applesauce with omega-3, right? Jerky and cheese, good protein and a little bit of good fat in there, okay? Healthy version of Pringles, way less sodium, way less processed chips, high in protein actually, really good, right? But then of course, again, like actually meal prep, like make a meal for yourself for the week. The less guessing you do, the easier it gets. And then you can actually think about it. So that way, when you are busy and you don't feel like you have the time to eat and you feel like it's going to be a super, super busy day. I've had super busy days where I haven't had really time to eat, right? And in my form of self-love and making the time for myself, I know, okay, I'm going to have a protein smoothie. I'm going to bring on these snacks. So while I'm on the go, I can still eat, drink, and get all the nutrients I need. When I get home tonight, I'm going to eat an actual meal. It's really not as hard as what we make it to be. I promise y'all. It's not. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Love y'all. Bye.